You're making $400,000 a year and you've been eyeing up that Manhattan market. What can you get? Does your money go as far as you thought, or does it go even further than you thought? With the ever-changing market, high taxes, and hidden costs, it is impertinent for you to figure out what you can get with that money. Now, what we're seeing on average is going to be somewhere between $600,000 on the low end and $1 million on the high end, because it all has to do with your credit score, your debt to income ratio, perhaps you own a few other properties. So we're going to break it down with a few neighborhoods in Manhattan specifically so you can see if making that purchase is right for you. Let's get started. I would like to start up in the Heights. Now, the Heights has been going through really big changes for many, many years, but one thing I do want to point out is a lot of people hear the Heights and they think that you're so far away from Midtown or even downtown. But the truth is, there's some express trains. I don't know if you know this, but if you're headed north after 59th Street, Columbus Circle, the A and the D, their next stop is 125th. They literally go from 59th to 125th, 125th to 145th, and so on and so forth. There are local trains in between, but if you're thinking about making a move up there so you can get more bang for your buck, you have some easy transportation to come back down. As an example, in Hudson Heights on 142nd Street, you can easily get a 2-bedroom for under $1 million. And also that 2-bedroom is going to be a condo. Now, if you want to go into Castle Village, I highly recommend checking it out. You can get something on the smaller end, like a 1-bedroom around $600,000, and you could even get a 2-bedroom for about $900,000 to $950,000. So there's some really great options at Castle Village. Not to mention it's beautiful. Now, these three I mentioned all have full-time staff. So what if you don't need the staff? You don't need those amenities? Well, you are in luck, because for under $800,000, you can get a 3-bed. If you don't need that door person there to help you, then why not trade in that extra monthly cost and then just get something a little bit bigger? Another great building I would recommend checking out is the Hudson View condominium. So they're going to be located in Washington Heights, and one of the great things is they're still under a tax abatement. So you might be able to afford a little bit more than you think up there. And their 2 bedrooms are going to be right around $850,000 right now. So you can easily get in under that budget, of course, depending upon what you're qualifying for. Now let's bring it down a little bit to the Upper East Side and the Upper West Side. So these are amazing neighborhoods. You're obviously between 2 parks on both sides, Central Park and East, or Central Park and Riverside. They're both absolutely amazing neighborhoods to live in. And quite frankly, being a Manhattanite myself for 16 years, I think they're all really good neighborhoods to live in. The biggest thing with both of these neighborhoods is you're going to be trading size for view. And by that, what I mean is on 72nd Street, a block away from the Ralph Lauren mansion, you can get a 2-bedroom for under $700,000. Now that 2-bedroom is going to be a little bit darker. It's going to be in the back of the building, not necessarily going to have a view. On the high end, I mean, you could be getting that 2-bedroom for $4.5, $5, $6, $8 million. If you want to keep going from there, you definitely can on the Upper East Side and Upper West Side, but it's really going to be that luxury factor and that view factor that's dictating that price. So keep that in mind. On the Upper East Side at 170 East 79th Street, you can be getting a 2-bed, 2-bathroom for $1 million, which is not easy to find, but it's definitely there. This building is going to be a little bit more luxurious than the one that I mentioned on 72nd Street. And also, I would recommend checking out Trafalgar House. It's a really pretty building. It's super classic and Art Deco when you enter. That's going to be an awesome building as well. And it is a condo. So you're going to be getting a little bit less space for that $1 million price point, but they have some great apartments. And again, it's such a fabulous building, great location. Check it out. Now, on the Upper West Side, you can get a 1-bedroom co-op for easily under $700,000. And you might even be able to get it in more of that Lincoln Square area, or you can go up to the 70s and 80s. Of course, they're all fantastic. You can get even closer to my favorite pizza spot, Mama's 2 on 104th. It's lunchtime for me. Now I'm drooling. Anyways, you can easily get a bedroom for under that $700,000 mark. It's likely going to be a co-op on the Upper West Side, but don't worry, because there are also going to be some convertible 2-bedrooms on the Upper West Side, maybe in a walk-up building that are going to be right at that $1 million mark. But if you're looking more for that condo, you're going to be probably close to that $1 million mark, 1-bedroom. You should check out the Chesterfield. It's a great building and it will likely have some options for you. Now let's come down to Midtown. So Midtown West has this beautiful development called Executive Plaza. There's a few really good things about this, besides the fact that they have a really good Mexican food restaurant in the building. They actually have this open patio. You can sit outside. Fantastic. Anyways, one of the nice things is you can actually do short-term rentals there. So for those of you that are looking for a perfect condo pied-à-terre in the city, something that you can come use instead of having a hotel room, and then you can rent it out while you're not here, this is a great building to look into. And it's one that we definitely tell our clients about that are looking for a good investment that they can also use as a pied-à-terre. In the Executive Plaza, you can even get a 2-bed, 2-bathroom for under $1 million. Now, if it's under $1 million, it is very likely that it's a weird angle, or maybe they converted it into a 2-bedroom, but it's still possible there. Another way that you can get in under that budget with getting some luxury in Midtown West is going all the way west. There's some amazing developments over there. For instance, the West at 547 West 47th Street. They have some awesome units over there in a full-service, amenity-filled building, and that's all going to be under $1 million. So you should be able to fit in there with your budget. Now, if you're thinking, Midtown West isn't for me, I'd rather be East, no problem. There are a lot of beautiful buildings in Midtown East, like the Sovereign, for instance, in Sutton Place. What a great building. One thing that I love about Sutton Place is you are not that far from public transportation. You just walk a little bit home, or you can, of course, take a car wherever you need to go. But you feel like you're outside of the city, but you're so in the middle of the city. But it is quite amazing. The feeling over there feels so residential. You still have grocery stores close by, but who are we kidding? Most New Yorkers just have all that stuff delivered anyways. I digress. But the Sovereign is a great building. You could easily get a unit with at least 1.5 baths for under $1 million. You might even be able to get a convertible 2 in there. Another great place to talk about is Turtle Bay. Turtle Bay, you can definitely get some stuff under $1 million, whether it's a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. For instance, a building called the Delegate might be good for you to check out. And actually, just as a whole, check out Tudor City, because Tudor City has a few buildings over there. They have these beautiful casement windows. The building's maintenance will be including electric, I believe, on all of their buildings. They're just fantastic, gorgeous buildings. So Tudor City, they're going to have a lot of options under $1 million as well. And some of them right at that $600,000. You could even get a studio for like $350,000. So if you are thinking even less than $400,000, you definitely can get something over there. Now, Carlton Regency South on East 36th Street, along with a lot of other co-ops, are definitely going to be something to look into if you really want to stick into that what can $400,000 afford me range. I have to say, Murray Hill as a whole is extremely affordable. So definitely check that out if that's what you're looking for. No, I want more luxury in parks. I can already hear you. No worries. We'll take you to Gramercy Park next. Now here's some buildings you should check out. Gramercy House, Gramercy Arms, and Gramercy Stark. Clearly, we like to talk about Gramercy if you are in the Gramercy area. But I mean, why wouldn't you? You get a key to the park if you live on the park. So out of those 3, Gramercy Stark is going to be a condo. And I have to tell you, you can even get a studio there about 450 square feet for only $650,000. I'm sure that sounds like a lot, but again, the location is insane. So you can get that below $700,000. To be honest, when I was looking this up, I was like, oh, it's going to be much higher. So take advantage. Gramercy Arms, you can also be getting a studio for about $600,000 or less. And then Gramercy House is going to be a full service, amazing, beautiful building. And you're likely looking at 1-bedrooms for just under $1 million. But now you're thinking, ooh, Gramercy Park is a little bit too far east. Let's go further west. Okay, Flatiron District. You know it. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods, although I feel like they're all my favorite neighborhoods. For Flatiron District, I definitely recommend a few things. Number 1, if you want a really nice condo, definitely look up 254 Park Avenue South. That building is great, full of amenities, and you are only going to be getting a studio for that under $1 million price point, but I think you might end up falling in love with it once you go there and you see the building. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, if you're thinking, I like Flatiron, I don't need a condo, I would rather have more space, no problem. There are some awesome buildings there. The Victorias, 7 East 14th Street, you have Parker Gramercy, at 10 West 15th Street, 69 Fifth Avenue, 16 West 16th Street. Those buildings, they are all amazing buildings. They all have different qualities. 69 Fifth Avenue is going to be a condo op. The other 3 are all going to be co-ops. The Victoria is a little bit more flexible. It does allow you to rent out, which we usually don't see in a co-op. Not from day one. Give us a call. We'll explain everything to you. But those are some amazing buildings in Flatiron that can help you achieve the goal of at least a 1-bedroom for under $1 million. Something else is at 16 West 16th Street also has outdoor space for a lot of its units. So if you're thinking, I want to be in a budget that fits what I'm making and I want to have that outdoor space, it's an absolute amazing building to check out. Again, we'll love to take you. Now, you're thinking, no, I want to keep going west. All right, fine. So we'll take you into Chelsea. Here's what I'll say about Chelsea. If you want to keep it under $1 million and get the most size and also the most amenities, then go to London Towers. London Towers is a gigantic complex. They have really amazing, cute units. Some of them are still small. You can get a studio again at that like 500,000 mark or less, but you can also get larger units for under $1 million. It's a great thing to take a look at. It's also still pretty centrally located for Chelsea. It's not all the way west. It's still more central in that historic district, but they have everything you could want there. So if you wanted to go further west to Chelsea, that's where you should head. No, Chelsea is west, but still too far north. I know you who all won't cross 14th Street. I've got some friends like you. Sometimes I understand. All right, we'll give you what you want. Now, below 14th Street. Let's start west, which I think most people probably think they can't afford anything in for under $1 million. We are going to talk about the West Village. Now, you're definitely going to be getting a co-op for under $1 million. And at buildings like 350 Bleecker Street, you can even get a studio for about $650,000. Now, 295 West 11th Street is going to be another great option for you, where you can get a one bedroom for $700,000 to $800,000. And of course, if you're looking to purchase there, you cannot forget the West Village houses. Now, one of the nicest things about the West Village houses, besides their location, obviously West Village is just iconic, but you can actually get a 2-bedroom, likely 1-bath for under $1 million. So all of the West Village houses, they are a little bit further west in the best way possible. They're on Morton Street, Bank Street, Greenwich Avenue. They're all over there. They're fantastic. Most of these buildings are going to be 4 stories tall. They are going to be a walk-up though. That said, if you're getting on the 4th floor, there's going to be tons of light because all of the buildings in that neighborhood are on the lower side. So you still get a lot of light that comes through. And let's just state the obvious. You're getting a 2-bedroom for under $1 million in the West Village. No, you'd rather be more centrally located before 14th Street? No problem. We got you some Greenwich Village. All right, the Greenwich Village area, it does have some co-ops that are going to be within your price range. And the one that I would highly recommend checking out is going to be 35 West 9th Street. It's an awesome building. There's a few others that are in that area. And I would almost bring up the Stewart House, except they require 40% down payment. So that might not be as attainable if you're on that $400,000 a year. But hey, if you're not, you should definitely check that building out too. All right, you'd rather go further east. I hear you. The Seward Park Cooperative is a great option to look at if you really want to put your stamp on a property and get the most bang for your buck. These co-ops, it is again a group of co-ops that have come together. They are a little bit older, and I will say most of the time people are selling before renovating the property. So if you really want to find something, you can easily get a 2-bedroom for under $1 million and you want to put your stamp on that property, then that's where you should be looking in the Lower East Side. But if you're like, hey, no, I would rather have a condo, okay, no problem. You're just not going to have a 2-bedroom and you're probably going to be at the Blue Condominium. The Blue Condominium is located on Norfolk, and if you're lucky, you might be able to get something that was converted into a 2-bedroom for that price, but more likely it's going to be a really nice 1-bedroom. It'll at least have 1 bath. It's an amazing opportunity to get a condo in the Lower East Side. And I have to say, the Lower East Side is so trendy right now. I feel like David Bowie made it really cool and chic, and then it just stayed there. That's not for you. You'd rather be chic as well and be in Soho. All right, I get it. Listen, don't have to tell me twice. Soho. You can actually buy something if you're making $400,000 a year. You can. It is possible. Now, you are going to be looking at co-ops, but that's okay because you're getting into a great location. 57 Thompson Street is going to have some great options for you. I think you might even be able to get a 1-bedroom for around $700,000 in that building, which is a steal. Or check out buildings like 185 West Houston Street, because that building, their maintenance is so low. You'll get maintenance under $1,000 and an alcove studio for under $700,000. I mean, that is definitely along the line of affordability, especially here in New York City. So it's a great option. And you're in Soho. Okay, you're done. You don't want to shop anymore in Soho. There's too many people, too many crowds. I get it. You'd rather be a little bit further south at the hub that I quite frankly think has the most public transportation option. Financial District. In the Financial District, you're going to have a gigantic array of buildings. There's a couple buildings on John Street that you can get a great co-op, but I'm going to tell you about 2 of them. 25 is actually a really awesome and cute building. And I also feel as though it's a little bit further away from the crowds if you don't want to be on like Broad Street, for instance, where you have everybody walking there constantly taking photos of the stock exchange, etc. But anyways, it's a great building. They have a ton of amenities. And for under $1 million, it is a condo. You'll probably be in a studio, maybe an alcove studio, but that's a great option. Another great option is going to be 75 Wall Street. Now, 75 Wall Street is also, even though the address is Wall Street, I still always feel when I'm there like I'm a little bit further away from the crowds as well, which again can be nice. Or if you want to be in it, no worries. space. But if you are looking for something a little bit further off and you can get a 1-bedroom for under $1 million, I would definitely check out 75 Wall Street. One thing to keep in mind if you are looking in Financial District is that these buildings were initially built and the area was built for commercial use. That was where all of the financial companies had their headquarters. So things like light, air, space wasn't exactly what they were focused on. So you're going to end up getting a lot of these longer lofts. But if that's not for you and you're like, no, not only do I not want to be around people, I also would like a little bit more light over here. Hello. Okay, we're going to try one more space for you. Battery Park City. Now, I personally think that Battery Park City gets a not great rep. However, I will tell you this. If you go there and you live there for 1 year, you'll never leave. Anyone I ever know who's kind of fought Battery Park City and ended up going there because of the price point is obsessed, will not leave. I know someone that has combined 5 penthouses together, never leaving. Yeah. Plus, you get to walk outside and it is absolutely beautiful. You can see the Statue of Liberty. You can also see New Jersey, which, take it or leave it. If you turn around, you can see the city. No, but it's an absolutely amazing area. They have a lot of restaurants over there. They have shopping centers over there now. They have some great grocery stores. Everything that you would need is now located in Battery Park City. But what about the real estate? I know, I get it. That's why we're here. Why not check out Liberty Terrace? So Liberty Terrace, you can get a 1-bedroom for under $1 million. And they also have one of those tax exemptions going on. So your monthlies for now, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but as of today, in 2025, March 5th, you will actually be having taxes of about $1. So if you're looking for something affordable, talk to us because we're going to help you strategize when to sell it, but it could be a great option for you for now. Again, you're getting a 1-bedroom condo. It's pretty much brand new. Yeah. Another great option, and this one is going to give you more space for your money, is going to be at the Solaire. So the Solaire is a condo, which means it's a co-op and it has a condo element downstairs. Oftentimes, not always. Like 69 Fifth Avenue that I spoke to you about earlier, that one definitely runs like a co-op. Do not expect condo rules there. This one runs a little bit more like a condo. And if you have any questions about that with any building, that's why we are here for you to reach out to us. My information is in the description box below. And I want to know, what one of these neighborhoods do you think you would prefer spending your money in? Also, if any of this surprised you, like the fact that you can actually get something in Soho, let me know in the comments section below. And if you're serious about making a move to New York City, I would love for you to subscribe, send this to somebody who is, and as always, we at the Wheelock team would love to be your global real estate team of choice. Whew, that was a long one. Bye, guys.